Welcome to Everyday Cooking. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay connected, and it is absolutely free. Today let us see 6 different recipes with multigrain flour or sattu maavu. In this first we are going to see multigrain biscuits. I am going to bake this in pressure cooker as well as in oven, and whichever way you like you can follow that way. For this, let us take 1 cup of multigrain flour, that is sattu maavu. To this add half a cup of powdered sugar, and instead of powdered sugar you can use jaggery or brown sugar. And finally add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and give a nice mix. Instead of multigrain flour you can use wheat flour, ragi flour or bajra flour. We have mixed the dry ingredients. Now let us add the butter, about 60 grams of butter, that is 3 tablespoons of butter. If you like to avoid the baking powder, you can add some extra butter, that is about 4 tablespoons of butter. If you add more butter, the biscuits will be so soft. Crumble this well and start adding the milk. We need a stiff dough, so we have to add the milk accordingly. Here the milk is not raw, it is already boiled. The dough has to be like this. Even if it crumbles, it is not a problem. Now close this and give a rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, dust some flour, preferably wheat flour. Now let us start rolling the dough. Flatten it, it has to be thick, about 1 inch. This is perfect. Now let us shape it with a cookie cutter. Collect the remaining dough, we are going to use it for the next round. So first let us fill the baking tray. I have already used some butter paper. If you don't have butter paper, you can grease the tray with butter. This is the remaining dough. Repeat the same process. Here I have filled the baking tray, and those who are baking in oven, preheat your oven at 180 degrees for 10 minutes. And here goes my next set. This I am going to bake in a pressure cooker, so I am going to use a steel plate. Here I have filled the steel plate too, so I am first going to show the pressure cooker procedure. Add around 1 cup of salt in the pressure cooker. Place a stand and place the plate on the stand, and no gasket, no whistle. I am not going to preheat this. Instead I am going to keep this in high flame for 5 minutes, and then I am going to reduce to low flame and going to bake this for about 20 to 25 minutes. Next, the oven, it is already preheated, and I am going to bake this for about 20 to 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Here the cooker biscuits are ready, we can take it out. And here is our oven biscuits. Once this cools down, it will become more crispy. The next recipe will be multigrain puttu. For this we need 1 cup of multigrain flour, that is sattu maavu. The link for preparing sattu maavu is given in the description. If you want, you can click that. Keep it in medium flame and dry roast this for about 2 to 3 minutes. This is ready. Now let us transfer this into another bowl. Next we are going to roast the rice flour. Take half a cup of rice flour and roast it well. Roast this till it attains the sand consistency. It will take around 3 to 4 minutes. This is also ready. We'll transfer this into the bowl. To this add around half a teaspoon of salt. Now give a nice mix. Mixing part is over. Now start adding water little by little and crumble it. This is perfect, but still we have to check the consistency. Take a little and make it into a shape. It has to maintain the shape, and when you crumble, it has to crumble easily. I am going to use the idli maker and the puttu maker for preparing this. First we are going to steam it in an idli maker. So take a small bowl or a tumbler, fill it with the mix and shape it. Now transfer this into the idli stand. Now let us place this inside the idli steamer. I have already filled water in the idli steamer. Steam cook this for 10 to 15 minutes. Let us top this with some coconut. You can serve this with sugar or chana curry. This is puttu maker. First we will fill it with 1 or 2 tablespoons of scraped coconut. Next is the prepared mix. Here I am going to fill only half of it, so I am going to finish it with some more coconut. I have already filled water in this. Now we are going to steam cook this for 10 to 15 minutes. Our puttu is ready. Puttu is ready. Next is multigrain pakora. The video link for the preparation of the healthy mix powder is given in the description box. If you want, you can click it. For the pakoras, we need 1 cup of healthy mix powder. To this, add a quarter cup of rice flour, 1 tablespoon of fried gram, half a teaspoon cumin seeds, quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, and a huge pinch of asafoetida, that is hing, 1 or 2 chopped green chilies, handful of curry leaves, 1 small onion chopped, and the required amount of salt. Now sprinkle water little by little and crumble this. Add water little by little and give a nice mix. It has to be like this. Now let us fry them in hot oil. Turn both sides and cook in a medium flame until it is crispy. This is crispy and ready. We can take it out now. Crispy healthy mix pakora is ready. Hope you like it. The next recipe will be multigrain tattai. The link for the video on the health drink mix powder is given in the description. If you want, you can click it. For this, we need 1 cup of health drink mix powder. Next, take 1/4 cup of fried gram, powder it, and add this into the health drink mix powder. To this, add a 1/4 teaspoon of hing, that is asafoetida, and 1 tablespoon of soaked chana dal. I have soaked this for about 30 minutes in water. 1 teaspoon of black sesame seeds, you can also use the white one. Half a teaspoon of chili powder, the required amount of salt, and 2 teaspoons of butter. Mix this well. Form nice crumbles, it will help the butter to mix with the flour nicely. And then add water little by little and give a nice mix. We are going to make a nice smooth dough. Add water carefully, the water should not get excess. To this, I am going to add few chopped curry leaves which I have forgotten at the beginning. Give a nice mix, you will get a nice thick and smooth dough. The dough has to be like this. Now take a small ball and press it in between plastic sheet. You can use plastic sheet or butter paper. You can use a tumbler or any other small pan to press this. This is ready. Now let us fry this in oil. The oil has to be hot. Turn both sides and cook this properly in a medium flame. Both the sides looks crispy now, we can take it out. A very yummy crispy tatta is ready. The next recipe will be multigrain sweet balls. And the video link for the health mix powder is given in the description box. Take some ghee in a pan. Let the ghee melt. To this, add 3/4 cups of health mix powder. Saute them. We have already roasted the grains and cereals to prepare this powder, so this powder doesn't need to be roasted too much. Just give a saute for 2 to 3 minutes and then add jaggery. This is powdered jaggery, 1/4 cup of powdered jaggery. The powder and the jaggery should get mixed well, and once the temperature rises, the jaggery will automatically melt and mix with the powder. This is perfect. You can switch off the flame now. Saute for 2 to 3 minutes, that will be fine. Now let us transfer into another bowl and wait till it cools down a little bit. So once the heat is bearable, start adding boiled milk and give a nice mix. Add milk little by little till you get some nice crumbles out of it. This is perfect. Now let us shape it into balls. If you don't want to add milk, just add some water to jaggery and just heat it till it melts. Roast the health mix powder in ghee and then add the melted jaggery and stir nicely till it crumbles, and then make balls out of it. Next, let us prepare a chocolate cake with multigrain flour. If you want the video on how to prepare sattu maavu or multigrain, just click the link in the description below. For this, let us take 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of multigrain flour, that is sattu maavu. To this, add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Give a nice mix. We are going to do this cake in chocolate flavor, so I am going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Mix all the dry ingredients well and set this aside. Next we'll move on to the wet ingredients. 1 cup of milk. This is already boiled milk. To this add half a cup of refined oil. 1 cup of powdered sugar. Give a nice mix. Take time and give a nice mix. And now let us add the dry ingredients little by little and give a nice mix. I have used all-purpose flour, that is maida, for this cake. If you don't want to use maida, you can go for wheat flour. But the one prepared with maida will be much softer than that of the wheat flour. To get the nice aroma of the cake, we have to add vanilla essence. So let us add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. By this time, start preheating the oven for at least 10 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Now the batter is ready. Let us transfer this into the cake tin. I have used parchment paper here. If you don't have this, just grease it in very well with butter and dust with flour. And this is a preheated oven, and I am going to bake this for around 25 to 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Our cake is ready, we can take it out. This cake will be very soft and will taste so good. Hope you like the recipe. Thank you for watching. We'll join you in another interesting recipe, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. The recipes are over. Next, let us see how to prepare the multigrain flour or the health drink mix powder. For this, let us take 1.5 cups of finger millet, that is ragi. We are going to dry roast this in low to medium flame. Once this is ready, you can see 1 or 2 popping here and there. So at that stage, you can switch off the flame, transfer this into another plate and let it cool. Next is 1.5 cups of pearl millet, that is bajra. We have to dry roast this again in low to medium flame. Once you hear the popping sound, you can understand that this is ready. You can transfer this into a plate and let it cool. Next is 1 cup of sorghum, that is jowar. For a health drink mix, 3 things are very important. One is finger millet, another one is pearl millet, and finally this sorghum. These 3 are very important, and others you can adjust according to the availability. Next we are going to take maize. This is 1 cup of maize. You get 2 varieties of maize. One is little bit flat and other one is somewhat big, and the bigger one is used for popcorn, so better to get the flat one. This is ready. Next we are going to take 1/4 cup of wheat. You can increase the wheat up to 1/2 cup, and it is up to you. And next we are going to take 1/4 cup of fried gram and 1/4 cup of roasted groundnut. As both are already roasted, we don't want to roast this much, so just roast this for around 2 or 3 minutes and switch off the flame. Next is 1/4 cup of sago and 1/4 cup of barley. These 2 are up to availability. If you have, you can add, otherwise you can leave it. Next is 1/4 cup of green gram and 1/4 cup of red rice. If you don't have red rice, you can use the brown one, otherwise you can go for quinoa. Finally, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of soya beans, 3 to 4 cardamoms, 10 cashews and 10 badams. And if you are specially preparing this for kids, increase the nuts. Let all the things cool down completely, and after it cools down, you have to grind it into a fine powder. I took it to a grinding shop for grinding this, and if you want to use mixie, make sure you're grinding it in small portions, and the mixie will also heat up, so give time in between to cool down. Next, let us prepare porridge for 1 year plus babies. Initially start with 1 tablespoon and gradually you can increase up to 3 tablespoons later. Now add little water and just mix well. To this add 1 cup of milk. This is already boiled milk. I'm using palm candies to sweeten this. So if your baby can drink without any sweetener, you can very well avoid all these sweeteners. So I have dissolved this in little water and adding it to the milk. Start stirring in a low flame. You have to stir this continuously until it is little bit thick. So this is ready, you can switch off the flame. For elders, you can avoid milk and you can prepare porridge with water. You can very well add oats also.